Hello again, Struck Pup. Welcome back to another day of streaming. Today I will be streaming some Torchlight 3 for all of you, and yes, it will be me playing a little bit with this Forged, maybe playing with some other heroes. We don't have much time, like 2 hours, even less. But yeah, let's enjoy it. I want to do a little bit of Fuzzier with this Forged. Maybe I can try a different Forged. I want to try a full ranged build after that one. So I'm probably later gonna switch to the Fire Forged to make a ranged build to see how that one will perform. But first we will be testing that one here. Oh, and 5 hours ago someone followed my channel. I was offline. Pfane or Pfani 821. Thank you if you are watching. Pfane or Pfani 821. So yeah, the forge has been reworked and there are some interesting things that you can do with it. There's definitely some interesting things one can do with the reworked forged. I wanna see the power creep, and we will be starting our post 60 content. Post 60 Fuzzier, Stormbringer, Nimble or Spiky. I'm gonna go for this because it's spiders and not automatons. I'd rather fight the spiders maybe. And yeah, if you were expecting me to stream Wosen today, you probably would be disappointed. I'm not gonna be going back to Wosen. I played until 4:30 in the morning yesterday, finishing the story, doing a little bit of endgame, figuring out if Wosen is worth my time, and my conclusion was Wosen is just not worth my time now. It's barely added anything new in regards to content, in regards to endgame activities. There is new content, but this content is just a mechanic. It's not a new type of endgame. It's just in regards to Wosen's Blood Trail, the hunt. The hunt is just a mechanic that you play during the story and during your endgame. And it would have been much better, for example, if Wosen added a new endgame activity like a survival mode, like a payload escort or whatever. Something that's different than expeditions. But for 10 months all they have to show is a stupid gimmick mechanic like the hunt and some rebalancing. And the rebalancing was much needed and it was appreciated, but the hunt mechanic really should not have been where they focused their attention. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna give Wosen another chance, we'll see. But Torchlight 3 on the other hand, I enjoy playing Torchlight 3 much more than I enjoy playing Wosen. So Omega Wosen will be just that. And the amount of bugs I got yesterday, I had to restart the game multiple times due to the audio glitching out. And stopping, and I needed to like go and restart the game so I can unbug the audio. Then there was a bug with the quest progression where I'm at the end of Act 3 in Wosen, close to the end, and then one of my quests cannot be completed until I restarted the quest. It just wouldn't let me travel to the next zone, and I had to restart the quest. But yeah. In Torchlight 3 at least I haven't encountered any progression breaking bugs apart from some endgame maps, but I think that has been fixed now. Apart from the Silky Webbing quest 2 days ago, I don't think there's others that are bugged. So yeah, weirdly enough, I didn't expect that I would stop playing Wosen this quickly. Although quickly is kind of a hard word, because I did play until 4:30 in the morning, so that's like 8 hours of Wosen yesterday. And yeah, the end game is still the same boring expeditions stuff, grindy, non-rewarding And oh, there was a crafting bug in Wosen, a crafting bug where I would use an orb on my item, and then it would consume not just one orb, it would consume 6 or 7 orbs. My full stack of orbs got consumed. So their new crafting is also buggy. I mean, at least one thing's for sure, you can always count on Wosen's developers to give you some interesting bugs to discover while playing their game. So at least that's what they're good at, making bugs. So yeah, I'm definitely not gonna miss Wosen. When I have Cyberpunk 2077 and Torchlight 3 and Warhammer Chaos Bane, Wosen would be the last thing I would really care about. I really wanted to like the game because I've been playing it since alpha. I really wanted to like Wosen with this new update, but I just couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear playing it any more than those 8 hours I spent yesterday. I really wanted to give it at least 20-25 hours before I decide, but it just became unbearable. By the way, to those of you who are looking for something new to play, Last Epoch got its new patch today. Last Epoch is a good game. I'm just not the right player for Last Epoch with their grindy no-lifer endgame, no-lifer competition leaderboards. But it's definitely a good game, and I think many of you out there, if you're looking for a new game to play, I would suggest not Wosen, but Last Epoch. That would be my suggestion to those of you who are looking for something new. I think Last Epoch has more to offer than Wosen, and it's just more fun. It's more fun than Wosen to play Last Epoch. I probably would have been playing and streaming it if I agreed with their the way they're handling the arena. Fracking strike. Keep in mind, I'm level 56 fighting level 60 enemies, so my weapons and armors are severely undergeared, severely underpowered against those enemies. But I can equip this and lose damage with Vortex. Oh shit. I can get poison defense and lose regular defense and energy cost. Oh, let's see it. I probably need to go back to some of the lower level maps. Maybe find a gauntlet and level up there, instead of sticking to the level 60 maps with a level 56 hero that has level 40 something items on it. Let's see here, level 46, 53, 46, 46, 54, 58. This weapon is still broken. I tested it, it's still broken. In fact, it's even more broken than before because it does no damage at all. And this is why I really wanted to do content around my level that I can actually handle. Well, now I have no weapon. Now I have no weapon. Maybe I've got something in the storage though. Yeah, stick to something you can handle, I guess, is the thing I can learn here. Oh, by the way, this is a new bug where the levels, this boss fight here dropped me. The level 15 dropped me a level 1 item, so the low level item drops are back as a bug. They're making a comeback, those bugs. There used to be a bug where we would get level 5 items. Now we have a new bug where we're getting level 1 items from the fuzzier bosses. It's weird because it was actually a drop from the chest, I think, not from the boss. It could have been from the boss. I picked them up and then checked afterwards, so I can't tell whether it was a boss drop or a chest drop, but I believe it was a chest drop. And if it's the same bug as before, where chests were dropping level 5 items, maybe it's gonna have the same fix. The problem now is I don't have a weapon to equip. Alright, I'm gonna equip this level 54 item. and try and find myself something new. What content should I do though? You know what? I've got a map work portal. In fact, I've got 2 of those. I'm gonna do them first. For some XP. Gauntlet maps would be nice, but I don't have any available and it just takes a long time to try and check every single map to see if there's a gauntlet option. Where's the damage numbers? Oh, I think I just got disconnected. See, I go into a portal and then I get disconnected. Thankfully I didn't use my legendary map. Or maybe I didn't get disconnected. Why were they not taking damage? Wait, what's happening here? My pet is taking damage or what? Am I? Oh! That's it. I was wondering what's happening. Something happened there. And obviously it was I didn't equip my pistol. I was wondering why 0 damage, 0 damage, 0 damage. Let's keep moving. Is that a potion? No. There we go. Now I need to find myself a good one-handed weapon soon. I wish the Forged had a class-specific weapon, not cannon but weapon, like the other heroes. A potion? No. Oh, actually yes, 1 potion. Wait, where did that skill go? Oh! What happened? I had a different skill there. Did I lose it? What happened to that skill? I'm pretty sure I had a skill there and I had the arc-powered shoulder skill. Oh, that's why it's gone. Alright. Is it just me or can we abuse the system and have this and then switch this? Let me check. Oh yeah, it's fixed. Earlier I'm not sure why I had the arc-powered skill while wearing a non-arc powered shoulder. It must have been a bug. Thankfully it's not something I can replicate, so I don't know what could have happened there. But thankfully I can no longer replicate this, which is pretty nice. Would have been funny if I could actually replicate this, but would have been very, very funny if it was something we can replicate. Nasbon says, hey Strucker, you don't play Wolsen. Yeah, I'm not gonna play Wolsen. I'm done with that shitty game. I mean, it's a good, it's not a bad game, it's not a shitty game, but 10 months and that's all they can show. Not a single new endgame activity. Seriously? 10 months and not a single endgame activity that's different from expeditions. So we're gonna have to do the stupid, boring, repetitive expeditions as our only endgame activity. And actually the game feels much worse to play than before. I was playing with all sorts of different skills while leveling up, while doing the story, and I kept switching skills, and on story mode it felt harder and tougher to do and kill stuff than when I first played the game on launch on normal mode. So they made the game more difficult. It's still super slow to level up. It's still super slow to farm affinity. It's mediocre game at best for Wolsen, and 10 months definitely haven't been spent well. I appreciate all the quality of life and all the rebalancing they did, but something feels wrong about it. The hunts are not new endgame, the hunts are a gimmick, they are a new mechanic. And the hunts are inside the expeditions, so you're not doing anything other than expeditions, and the hunts are inside the expedition, but that's not endgame activity. That's a mechanic that you can do even during the story. This is not new endgame, the hunt. If people think that this is a new endgame, then I've got bad news for them. It's not. So yeah. Don't be fooled by the stupid hunt gimmick. First, it's a boring mechanic and gimmick. Second, that's what it is. It's an add-on on the current endgame modes that you can choose to do or not to do. It's optional. Gimmicks like this work in Path of Exile because Path of Exile has a lot of different content. It has labyrinth, it has bosses, it has maps. It has what's that other thing with the pyramid? I keep forgetting what it was called. The one with the pyramid. Path of Exile has so many different things that you can do, so many different bosses you can do. So if for example Path of Exile adds something similar to the hunt, it would fit well, because that hunt would be wherever you go to do other type of content. Well, if you guys like it, then you definitely have different taste than me. I have a different tolerance to shitty games and to shitty mechanics and to grind. You probably like playing games like World of Warcraft where there's a lot of grinding, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with liking grind. I'm just not a masochist that loves grinding as much as Wolsen wants me to. The XP rates after level 70 are terrible, even now. So yeah, if before level 70 I feel like the XP is not enough, then how would it be enough after 70? I mean, it's fine, enjoy Wolsen, have fun with it. I'm just done with that game. I'm not gonna give it another chance. It's a joke, it's a slap in the players' faces if this is all they can give within 10 months. I don't have rose-tinted glasses on my eyes, and I'm evaluating the game for what it is when it comes to Wolsen. So yeah. Just give it 1 or 2 weeks, and everyone who has returned to the game would probably realize that it's the same old game with some rebalances, but no new endgame content. Just a boring hunt mechanic. If that's their priority, to add more mechanics and to just force people to do the same type of endgame, sure. Okay. I think Wolsen's problems are on management level. Someone up there in the creative department who's in charge of the creative process with the game is the one making the bad decisions and the one hurting the game. It's not 1,000 players in the game. It's 5,000 players in the game, not 1,000. 4,784 players in the game. Actually, 6,108 players in the game right now in Wolsen. But keep in mind, I'm a person who doesn't like Path of Exile. So that tells you why I probably may not like Wosen. Liu Gamer says, nice building. Thanks, dude, thanks. I'm not sure for which building you're referring. Are you referring to my fort? To my... to my personal fort or what? The 11k was not yesterday, because the 24-hour peak is 6,000 something. In fact, yesterday Wosen had 4,800 people. The 24-hour peak was 4,800 something people until an hour ago. Terry the Tank, your favorite class is... It's doing okay, but I was expecting more from the Forged rework. This boring Steam mechanic is just unnecessary. Ranged Forged would still be just as weak as it was before. That's all it is right now with the Forged. Melee Forged is just as good as it was before, and the same applies to Ranged. So this Forged rework didn't shift the meta. And yeah, the Forge still needs to rely. The Forge still needs to rely on the relics to get strong. But there are certain things here. Sonic Pulse now increases the damage of your Steam spending skills. This is what I wanna test, because that's extra 40% to critical mass, to fracking strike, to steam powered uppercut, and to pressure shot. And Wosen is actually much more buggy than this PTR, to be honest. Yesterday I had to restart my game multiple times. In 8 hours I had to restart my game 4 or 5 times. And in the end, right before I stopped playing, the game just crashed, and that was when I said, okay, it's time to sleep. So, in Wosen, some of the bugs I can find from that patch within 8 hours, people who were given early access to the game, streamers who were given early access to the game, and content creators to give feedback, were sleeping. Because there's obvious bugs when using crafting, obvious bugs where the sound disappears, obvious bugs with, what did I find yesterday? With quest progression. Just so many things that are broken. It's weird. It's weird how the QAs said, okay, the game's fine, but Wosen is famous for the QAs sleeping and missing things that are broken. But what I'm playing right now is not live. It's a PTR, Public Test Realm. Public Test Realm is supposed to be buggy. It's supposed to be for testing. You're getting content before it has been given the green light to go to the live server to help find bugs. Whereas with Wosen, you're testing the final quality past version. And if the final quality past version is this bad and this buggy, and I constantly lose sound, and some other people are also constantly losing sound, then there's something wrong there. If I encounter a bug where my quest cannot be completed until I walk out and walk back in and restart the quest from one stage before. And the pet system in Wosen, now that you mentioned pets, the pet system in Wosen, what's the whole point of this pet system? It's just a stupid creature running after you doing nothing. It's just for looks, it's just a cosmetic bullshit. Why would they waste development time on something like this, where they could have been making new content, new endgame activities, instead of a stupid pet that runs after you in Wosen? I mean, I don't know where to begin with. Obviously, Spaghetti Code strikes again with Wosen. Obviously, they were coding with their feet instead of their hands, and that's fine. I don't want to be mean because I love the game. I've loved Wosen since Alpha. but it's been getting worse and worse. The beta was worse than the alpha, the launch was worse than the beta, and this latest patch, it's an improvement to the launch, but still a big disappointment. Whereas with Torchlight 3, it's been constantly getting better. Some things should not have been done with Torchlight 3, such as this power creep and such as this Steam system. The Steam system is it's just unnecessary, the Steam system. But yeah, I'm not gonna stream and play Wolcen just because people are watching Wolcen content. And yeah, yesterday my Wolcen stream got 3 times the views my Torchlight 3 stream got it. But if I don't enjoy playing the game, I can't go and play a game that I'm not enjoying just for the sake of money. That's just not how I'm gonna do it. But yeah, Torchlight 3, at least the developers are actually listening and addressing things that need to be addressed. I mean, I waited patiently for 10 months since Wolcen's launch, and I just don't wanna be disappointed again. So I'm probably not gonna return to Wolcen after yesterday. And yeah, the crafting is very buggy. Be careful. If you're playing Wolcen right now, be careful with the crafting. With the crafting where you press G, you put an item and put an orb. Split the orb before crafting. If you have 5, 6, 7 orbs, split them up before putting them in the hole. Otherwise, it might consume all of your orbs. I lost a full stack of orbs that way. So just make sure you separate one orb from the full stack and put it in there. I can't wait for people to start finding new exploits in Wolcen and new dupes and things like that to ruin the economy again. so you would see how bad the spaghetti code is there. And obviously, whoever they were giving early access of the new update of Wolcen to give them feedback for and find bugs has been sleeping. You did that mistake too. Yeah, didn't it tilt you? I would have been super tilted. I mean, I was super tilted when it first happened. But the next time I did it, I just split. So I didn't get it twice, but imagine if there was no splitting, then that would have been a problem. But yeah, Torchlight also has bugs. They apparently fixed the quests, but I don't think so. In Torchlight 3, there are still quests that you cannot complete and finish a map as a result of those quests. Like the one I'm doing right now. This would be one of those quests that cannot be completed. I mean, I don't know what to say of 2020. 2020, it's been a very bad year in regards to games. Hopefully Cyberpunk 2077 just erases all the bad shit that has happened with games and with bad patches and bad launches and rushed games where publishers are just greedy and impatient. So hopefully Cyberpunk 2077 erases everything 2020 did. But yeah, as long as you're playing in group having fun, that's fine. But try to play it solo and you're immediately gonna see what I was talking about. I mean, as a solo player, I can only give you my opinion as a solo player in Wolcen. from last night, and it definitely is not a good experience. But maybe when you play in group it becomes much easier. But that shouldn't be the case. It should be equally difficult for group play, and it should scale. It should scale based on how many people you have in the team. Because then it's not fair to the solo players to have it harder. See how Torchlight 3 scales, for example. But yeah, Wilson, I've enjoyed playing Wilson, but I just don't think I can enjoy it anymore. Even though I do owe a lot of my growth, of my channel's growth to Wilson, still not as much as I do to Torchlight though. Let's try and find a map that's Gauntlet. Last Epoch would be the game I would recommend for people to play today instead of Wilson. Rogue class, dual wielding, bows, daggers. If I liked the end game in Last Epoch, I would be playing it today. The problem is I don't like the arena there, so I'd rather not do this to myself, as I said and played. But I think Last Epoch is more suitable as something to recommend to others. Terry the Tank says also the power creep makes... which power creep? The one in Wilson or the one here? The power creep in Wilson should go away. The power creep in Torchlight should stay only inside the Fazir. The end game in Last Epoch, I mean the arena. The arena is a no-life competition. Basically, you have to do it in one go. You can't leave and continue later, where you left off. You have to do it in one go, and that's basically a no-life competition. It's competing in regards who has more time to do the same boring, repetitive content in the arena. And if that's the leaderboard, if that's what people are competing for, then I can't respect something like this. By power creep I mean gear level. Getting stronger items by reaching stronger zones. For example, in Torchlight 3, right now I'm getting level 60 items. Actually, I'm getting level 58, but I can get level 60 items. And if I go higher in the Fazir dungeon, I can get level 60 items that have stronger item level. The same way it works with Wilson. You get level 60 items there with stronger item level. This is power creep. And this just doesn't belong in a game that wants to grow. If you want your game to grow and to have different types of endgame, you need to make a system where doing content from one endgame doesn't reward you stronger items than the content in another game. So that all types of content is equally attractive to do. If it's not compelling me to do that content, because the other content gives me stronger items, then what's the point of having the content with the weaker items? Obviously in Wilson right now you only have expeditions, so you don't really care much about the power creep, and in Torchlight 3 right now you only have the Fazir dungeon and you won't care much about the power creep. But when they add new types of endgame activities, this would become immediately a problem. But if, for example, in Torchlight 3 they make it to not be tied to the items, but rather give you buffs. So when you push the Fazir further, the further you go, the stronger you get. But when you exit the Fazir, this buff gets removed until you return. This would be much better if they handle it with a map affix that grows, rather than increasing the strength of the items. That way you won't have super overpowered items from high level Fazir stages when they add new endgame content, that people can just destroy that content with those strong items. Otherwise, they're forcing themselves to make sure every single next content they add has this power creep system implemented into it to drop those items. Liu Gamer, you want me to share this build? Oh, this build is coming probably in 1 or 2 days. If I think it's ready, I will share it tomorrow. But let's probably not hurry and maybe wait 1-2 days. In fact, I want to level up another one. I want to level up a ranged build as well. This build is not ready because I need 4 more levels. And I need level 60 items. I don't have level 60 items right now. So we'll see. But yeah, Last Epoch would be amazing when multiplayer hits. Probably I'm gonna play a little bit of Last Epoch when the multiplayer hits. And when they implement all the endgame activities, when they implement the bazaar, the trading in Last Epoch, that would be pretty fun. Because I can ignore the arena. I can ignore the arena in the no-life competition that comes with the arena. Because one of the best things about Last Epoch is the skill system. Having passive skill trees for all active skills. This is just amazing. This is one of my favorite things about Last Epoch. Those passive skill trees for the active skills. But what I don't like is how slow it is to level up a new skill to 20. If I want to change my skill, why should I grind like a fucking madman to get some more XP to level up a new skill to 20? I think it should be much faster to level up. To level 100 in Last Epoch and to level up new skills. I don't like the grindy XP rates of Last Epoch, the same way I don't like grindy XP rates anywhere. Period. Grindy XP rates belong in MMOs, not in action RPGs. It's 2021. Leave the grind to fucking MMORPGs, not to action. Keyword action. There's nothing action about grind for XP. Grinding for gear, okay, fine, that's a part of the game, but grinding for XP is just boring. The quicker you reach level, the quicker you reach max level and max skill points, the better. The less grind you need to respect, the better. That's why I like Chaos Bane. There's so many good things about Chaos Bane in this regard. In regards to not needing to grind to respect, in regards to reaching max level quickly, and even though we have something like a Paragon system there in Chaos Bane, you don't need to max out all those stats as much. Probably 600 legendary ranks in Chaos Bane is more than enough, even though it caps at like 1200. The game could be gross visually, yeah, Chaos Bane could be gross visually, but it has a lot of good things. It also has a lot of bad things, like the boring itemization, but it's super easy to respect in the game and switch builds. It's super easy to reach max level, and it's just nice. It's done in a way where it respects your time as a player. It's a game that doesn't want you to be a fucking zombie. It wants you to be a player who has other things to do than grinding for levels and for respects. Leave the zombie mentality to MMOs and bring more action in the action RPGs. Less grind, more action. When I was younger, I liked being the zombie that plays MMORPGs and grinds for months just to get that Godstone, to get my silence on my item, or to get that paralysis on my item. But now it just I realize how bad that is. You have to spend 2 months just to get that one drop just to make your weapon stronger. Path of Exile is the best in the genre, not according to me though. I prefer Grim Dawn. And Path of Exile has a lot of good things, but also a lot of bad things for my taste. It's the best in the genre, according to the masses, but I'm not the masses. I have my own tastes. I'm not a sheep that plays what others play. I play what I like, not what others play. So I just don't like how punishing Path of Exile is. Path of Exile is too in the stink. That's what Path of Exile is when you die. It's too punishing. Casual players like me don't like it. And that's it. I've had my fair share of playing Path of Exile. Sometimes I used to play like 12, 14, 16 hours a day of Path of Exile. But it gets boring very quickly. Two weeks inside the new league and I'm already bored. The same goes for Diablo 3. And I don't like starting over every fucking league. And I don't like not being able to use the league mechanics with my old heroes until the league is over. And the standard league gets those new mechanics. I just don't agree with this. I think this is a bullshit way of forcing people to start over. I'm never gonna agree with such a mechanic, and that's why I don't play games with such mechanics. But everyone has different tastes. My tastes are just... I'm not sure how to say it. I just don't like grinding and I don't like losing progress. I don't like losing XP when I die. I don't like losing gold when I die. Although if it's a reasonable amount of gold, sure, okay, I would pay it. Step right up, contestant. In general, any type of progress, I don't like losing it. You say that now. Yeah, Path of Exile is always about grind and perpetual grind, and that's why I don't like it. It's too grindy. It's too grindy to min-max things. Or to get something that's not min-maxed but still reasonable. And the balancing, don't get me started on the balancing. It's too easy to make a shit build in Path of Exile. The easier it is to make a shit build in a game, the worse the balance is. The harder it is to make a build that's super bad and sucks, then the better the balance in the game is. If a game is perfectly balanced, there would be no such thing as a shit build, but there is no such a game where regardless of what you do, you're just changing your playstyle, but everything's viable. Such a game doesn't exist, but it would be fun if such a game exists. Making a different build just changes your playstyle, but is still viable, regardless of what you do. I like reasonable amount of grinding. I like grinding for gear when it's reasonable, but I don't like grinding for XP. It's just not fun for me to grind for XP. I like to reach max level as soon as possible and then start experimenting and changing my builds until recrafting. And this is why Warhammer Chaos Bane in this regard is the best. In regards to reaching max level quickly and having the freedom to respec as much as you want. And in regards to how easy it is to get items. The problem with Warhammer Chaos Bane is there aren't enough items, there isn't enough variety of sets, enough variety of weapons and offhands and accessories, and you can't reroll your affixes. And rerolling affixes needs to be done like Diablo 3 in every other game. Diablo 3 is the game that, in my opinion, has done rerolling item affixes in the best way one can do it. It's nice. You have a reason to get shitty legendaries that you don't need and turn those into materials, and those materials you use to reroll your affixes on the legendaries that you need. And it fits well. It's a nice whoop there. So whenever you spend your resources on Kadawa and you get shitty legendaries you don't need, you can at least turn them into materials and use those materials to reroll the affixes in the gear you're actually wearing. And I think this type of rerolling affixes belongs in games like Torchlight 3, like Chaos Bane, like Wolsen, although in Wolsen we were supposed to get the same thing with sockets, which is no longer the case, unfortunately. With sockets and orbs. But yeah, in Path of Exile, once you farm enough currency, you can buy everything. The same goes with real money. If you have enough real money in Path of Exile, you can buy all sorts of items with the shitty trading system that allows people to sell items for real money. I don't like games where people sell items for real money, where trading is free and everyone can sell items for real money. Another thing that I don't like about Wolsen, it decided to emulate this type of trading as well. And people were selling trial belts and things like that for hundreds of dollars for one item. $50 to $300 for just that belt that you can get is what people were selling it for. And the worst thing is people are actually paying the money. There were poor souls out there that wanted to pay up to $300 for a stupid belt in a game. And there's always gonna be people who exploit those who want to pay if the game allows them to. If the trading in the game is done in such a way where people could exploit this and have a black market or grey economy, whatever you want to call it, of selling resources and items for real money. When you were a tryhard, you made over 1k in money a month from Path of Exile. I guess that's understandable how people can make that money. And that's why I respect Diablo 3 from removing the real money auction house and limiting trading to only be able to trade with people in the team. When that were there when the item dropped. But again, my taste in games is different than 99% of the people who play such games. It's just different. And I know that, and I don't expect the masses to come flocking to my channel, because my tastes are different. But there are those people who think similar to me sometimes, not always. And we can always talk about it. And even if we disagree on some things, that doesn't mean we can't play the same games and have discussions when I stream and play those games. But yeah, this year, I don't know, there's been a lot of disappointment with games this year. Oh wait, there's more spawning down there, I need to go back. I can't find the quest items. I think their new quest system is more broken than the old one. Either this or it's not showing me where I need to find those goblin dinners. 1 million not enough to make a very good game. Depends on the type of game. If it's a 2D game, for example, look at Chronicon. Chronicon for me was more enjoyable to play than Path of Exile or Wolsen. It just was a bit too much speedrunning mentality for me. But the guy, I'm pretty sure the guy spent no more than thousands of dollars to make his game. He made it by himself, one person, and he had so many things that could fit well into all those 3D games we play. If Wilson had half the quality of life that Chronicon had, it would have been so much more. If Wilson had some of the content that Chronicon had. So no, 1 million gold is not always needed, and it's not always too little for a good game to be made. It depends on the type of game, it depends on the environment, it depends on the developers making the game. Obviously you need to, even if you're a single developer, like the one who made Chronicon, you still need to outsource arts and other things unless you're good at drawing and coding. And if you're good at drawing and coding, you must be some sort of a genius. both art and science. But yeah, music, drawing, all of that, you have to outsource it. If you're doing only the coding and some other things like that, then you definitely gotta outsource and pay people to do the music, to draw the art, 2D, 3D, etc. Ritkitu, now my feedback about Wilson is I expected more. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's still mediocre. It's still a mediocre game, and after 2 weeks time most people would have probably stopped playing it when they realize there's not anything new in regards to the endgame. There's no new endgame activities. There's just the hunt, which is an add-on to the current endgame activities. And the hunt, this blood trail thing, is just boring. It doesn't bring much to the table, other than those new weird affixes, which is okay. But again, I would have preferred if they added a new endgame activity like a survival mode, or escort like the Delph in Path of Exile, or something like Nemesis and Uber bosses and things like that that you can go and find in the zones, or bounties like in Diablo 3, something like that. But no, they just decide to add the stupid hunt and put it inside the current endgame. And no, it doesn't bring a lot for a summoner, to be honest. Balance wise, sure, yeah, they've rebalanced a lot of things. And yeah, there are some nice new items, especially ones around health globes. I found a nice unique item, unique armor, that makes health globes explode when you pick them up, and gives you 400 rage for each picked up health globe. But still, we don't have any new endgame activity. You can revive the hunt boss, sure, okay, that's fine, but that still doesn't bring me any new endgame activities. The hunt is just a mechanic. It's not a new activity, you still do it in expeditions. Apart from expeditions, what else is there to do? Other than the expeditions, and then eventually when you get maps, the maps for bosses and other things. I want content that's different than expeditions, and I want better balance. I want that when I'm leveling up and doing the story on story mode, that it's easy to do and it doesn't feel harder than before on hard mode with the same build. I did test a lot of skills. I probably tested like 15 different skills while leveling up, switching from one to the other, checking what works, what doesn't. And Last Epoch doesn't have multiplayer yet. What I think about Immortals Phoenix Rising, it's a risky purchase. And I definitely don't have the money to afford buying Immortals Rising right now. If I were to buy anything, it would be a new GPU. So every single penny I get right now would go towards buying a new video graphics card. Immortals Phoenix Rising, I can live without playing that game. I'm not missing out on too much. It looks like a mediocre game at best. So yeah, it looks very nice visually, but the gameplay doesn't seem like anything too new and too original. Yeah, there is flying, but flying's not new. We had games like Ion, which is an MMO that had flying combat, 3D combat. Last Epoch is worth it. Wolsen, I would recommend Last Epoch over Wolsen, Ritki 2. If someone is wondering should I buy Wolsen or Last Epoch, I would say get Last Epoch. It has much more promise, and the developers actually do want... They have a good vision. They know what players want in a game. They know what players want in a game, and they know that content is more important than stupid gimmicks. And yeah, Wolfen was so buggy last night. I told you, within 8 hours of playing Wolfen yesterday, I had to restart my game a couple of, not a couple, 4 or 5 times for losing my sound. The sound would disappear. And then at one point I needed to restart my quest because it was bugged. It wouldn't let me continue further in the zone I was. And then I had to restart the quest from 2 zones ago or whatever. You didn't get disconnected. I didn't get disconnected. It's not disconnecting. My sound disappeared. I wouldn't. At first the ambient sound would disappear and the sound effects, and I would hear only voices and footsteps, and with the occasional monster. And then those would disappear as well. And I wasn't the only one, because even when I was streaming, this bug would happen, and someone said it happened to them too. So there's a bug with the sounds. Well, you never had it, but that doesn't mean the bug doesn't exist. There's a bug and it happens to some people. So if it doesn't happen to everyone, that's not an excuse. The bug needs to be removed. Also the bug where the progression gets bugged. And again, there's just the lack of... keep in mind, they spent 10 months and all they have to show us is a bit of rebalancing. A few new items, one new skill, and a stupid hunt gimmick, which isn't anything special. And that's it. There's still stupid power creep in the game, it's still super grindy, the XP is still bad, the drop rates are still bad, the gold rates are still bad, the affinity rates are still bad. I enjoy playing Torchlight 3 much more than playing Wolfen. And I actually regret spending so many hours yesterday playing the game. Those 8 hours I can never get back playing Wolfen yesterday. If I could, if I had a time machine, I wouldn't even bother if I had a time machine to spend those 8 hours last night standing until 4:30 in the morning. And the game actually crashed. At the end, the game actually crashed and stopped responding. That's when I said, alright, it's time to sleep. Oh, Air. Elion. Yeah, I think Air got renamed to Elion. I don't think Terra 2 would be a thing. I don't think Terra 2 would be a thing. Elion is Ion 2. Yeah, it's similar. It's similar to Ion 2. It looks interesting. It's my level, 57. One more level actually, one more level, and then I can increase the damage of my fracking strike. What can I put here? What if I put poison dart here? Non-tap targeting. I actually loved Terra. In Terra, back when Terra released, I was playing on a stupid laptop because I was constantly traveling from one country to the other to another due to university being abroad. I would, when I PvP Terra, I would go to like 210 frames per second sometimes, and I would be rubber banding all over the place, and people wouldn't be able to kill me probably due to the rubber banding. And yet I would still be able to reach top 3 scores, sometimes top 1 or top 2 in the battlegrounds. So I really liked it that I didn't need super OP items to be able to do well in the battlegrounds in Terra, in the 10v10 combat. I just needed to play smart and have at least one teammate that listens and plays the way I do. But it was fun. It was definitely fun. I loved playing Terra, and it wasn't difficult to get the most basic PvP set. You needed what, probably a week, and you could get it. But back then I hated PvE. Right now I actually hate PvP and love PvE. Things reverted for me. When I played MMOs, I used to be a PvP freak when I was a teenager and in my early 20s. But now I'm 30 and I just don't have time for competitive shit. I don't care about my EPing. I don't care about stuff related to the ego. Whether I'm stronger than the others or not. It doesn't matter too much to me. I just wanna kill stuff, loot stuff and make builds. That's all I like in games. And I want to be able to do it within a reasonable amount of time, not grinding like a fucking zombie. But yeah, back in the day, I didn't like the PvE in Terra. It was so annoying with all those complicated mechanics that you have to pay attention to. And it used to take so long to do a proper raid, to do a proper dungeon, one of those big ones, and that were needed to craft some items for the materials that drop there. It was just too time consuming. And that's how it is. MMOs are just time consuming. Very time consuming and grindy. When it comes to min-maxing, getting the best gear you can get. And I don't like games with limits of how many times you can enter a dungeon per day, per week, per month. I just don't like those limits. If I have 20 hours to spend playing today and 0 hours for the next 7 days, allow me to spend those 20 hours doing the content I want. And MMOs just don't do that. MMOs are all about daily logging. They're making you a logging zombie that needs to log in every day, otherwise you're missing on some rewards. And the fear of missing out, it's a big psychology thing there in regards to designing systems for MMOs, to force people to log into your game every day. This gauntlet map, it's not the best gauntlet map, but at least it's a gauntlet map, so you can just stay there and farm XP. Last Epoch will have an auction house. They're gonna call it a bazaar, and it will have a very interesting system. That the closer an item is to expiring from the auction house, the more the buyer pays to bid for it, or something like that. It's an old post they have on their forums that explains this in detail. For key to isometric gameplay is more preferable. I actually prefer third-person gameplay like Godfall and Kingdoms of Amalur and Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077. but I like to be able to switch between one and the other. It's nice to be able to switch between one and the other. Cyberpunk would be amazing for a third-person wooter shooter ARPG kind of thing. It's gonna be nice, nice mashup. And there isn't much left until Cyberpunk. 6 days. 6 days. It's coming out at 2 in the morning my time on the 10th, which means I'm probably gonna start streaming around 9 or 10 in the morning on the 10th of December is probably when I'm gonna start streaming Cyberpunk. I would avoid all types of spoilers and things like that and just get a good rest. So on the morning of the 10th of December I can be ready for the launch and start streaming early. And Nasbond, thanks for stopping by. Have fun, good luck with the drops in Wolsen. Enjoy those new builds, especially those with the health globes, with that new armor. Spacefreak says, oh, Spacefreak is here. Wait, when did Spacefreak come? Did I miss? Oh, he said remastered and renamed, but they create a complete new MMORPG. Which one? IR Ascent Infinite Realm has been crushed and now completely remastered. Much hope that would be nice. I also am hoping about AIR to be nice. I'm also hoping that. And Trimozy says, does the pet's passive skill get fixed in this patch? Which pet passive skill, Trimozy, if you're still there? Which pet passive skill? Pet passive skill. Sorry guys, the chat was going quickly and I've missed some messages. I'm gonna see if I've missed any messages with this chat. Okay, there's a lot of messages I might have missed. But yeah, there's a lot of pet skills now. We've got a lot more pet skills with this update. You've got 7 new pet skills. Not sure which passive was broken before. Let's try this one, by the way. Let's try this one too. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep the defense. Yeah, I'm putting some of the new ones. Actually, let's put this one as well. Let's let the pet do the killing. It's doing some sort of a shockwave when it dives. Sometimes. He's doing the thunder, but I'm not seeing the visual of the thunder. See, it did that whitening, but I think that whitening is from me, not from the pet. Pet, Q. Q. Did they change the drop rates for the Ember set? I don't know. I'm still with 0. I'm still with 0 on my other account on the live server. So I still haven't found a single Ember piece. And I haven't found one here, but I haven't played much on this test server. So I can't tell you. I haven't found many legendaries since I started playing on this server. Only the ones I got from the NPC plus another maybe up to 10 additional drops since I started. But my gear work is not that great right now. But the new set, the new Ember Weave set, Space Freaks, did you see the new set? If you haven't seen the new set, I've got videos on YouTube today uploaded. And one of them shows you all the new items from the new set. So to anyone who wants to see overview of every single new item that I know of, except the sword has not been added to the Legendarium, so I can't show you what the sword is like because it's just not in the Legendarium, but I know it exists. We've seen it on a screenshot and I've seen it when the developers were giving us some preview of the game. Viewers are asking you to play Wolsen. Well, it depends. It depends whether you like that type of playstyle that Wolsen offers, the grindy playstyle. If you like grinding, then you're gonna love Wolsen. If you don't like grinding, then you may not love it. The same way I don't. And when the patch comes out, you'll be back on Torchlight 3. And there's also Vast Epoch. Vast Epoch patched today. So today we've got a new patch, new hero on Vast Epoch. So there's that as well. Actually, Wolsen has a lot of German streamers. The majority of the streamers and build creators of Wolsen were German. I know at least 4 or 5 of them. Keep that in mind. Austrian or German. In fact, you might want to group up with them because one of them had a website where he would put builds of different people to promote those. It was something 666. I don't remember their website, but it had 666 in the name, and you might want to look it up. But yeah, there was one German streamer that collected other German streamer content creators, and he was putting builds of all those people on their website. To promote that. Oh, almost 58. Almost 58. I can actually wear level 60 items now at 57. Would I play next year's New World? I don't know, it's a risky purchase. I like what I've seen for New World, and if they give me a free copy, I probably would play it, but again, I'm gonna be saving money for a new graphics card. And I'm not sure whether buying New World would make the money back. I gotta think a bit in regards to making an investment. For me, a game would be an investment, and the more games I buy, the slower I will be in regards to getting my new graphics card. And with my estimation, I should have enough money saved up to buy it in May. But buying a new graphics card would require me to buy a new power supply, because my power supply is 650 watts. And if I get a video card that's stronger and newer, I'm probably gonna need 850 watt power supply. You bought the deluxe edition and you're hoping it's better than Godfall. Well, yeah, New World seems like a very fun game. It really reminds me of Guild Wars 2 and Elder Scrolls Online, to be honest. But looks much more fun. But it does remind me of those in ways. Alright, I'm done with this map. Let's go to character selection and and then go back. But I've registered for the creator program in New World. And if they give me access when that program starts, when the game launches, or before the game launches, I would love playing it. Right now it's under NDA again, so people are prohibited from streaming and playing it for the time being. Again, they removed the NDA for a while they were doing public tests and stuff, and now they're back to testing and NDA. I can finally test this. Sonic Pulse now increases the damage of your Steam spending skills. So what do we have else for the build? 4 points here, 8 points here, obviously 8 points here. Obviously, maybe I can put more points here. I don't think I need 10 points here anymore. But this increased energy gain is pretty nice. But I don't know, I'm probably gonna remove 4 points from 1000 volt burst. I can put them into Energizer for energy gain. 1000 volt is not nerfed, it's changed. The tier 3 bonus is different. By the way, 1000 volt burst was broken. It was doing 550 instead of 55% damage. The tier 3 bonus. But now we have a new tier 3 bonus, which just gives you increased relic energy gain. So I'm thinking of removing those points. Yeah, I've been telling you about the 1000 volt burst tier 3, that it's amazing, but obviously it was broken, and it was expected to get nerfed, but I didn't expect them to just remove the tier 3 bonus and change it. But that's one way of changing things, one way of of doing things. Okay, I need to quickly go and take a piss, because I've been holding that since I started streaming. So yeah, just be right back. If you're on Twitch, I can run some ads for 60, let's say 90 seconds. But give me a moment, I'm coming back. Just need to quickly release the pressure. So be right back. So here we are, back into the grind. I've got like half an hour. How am I doing with my respectable money? I've got 9,000. I can buy 3 Respectacles and remove 3 more points from that skill. Let's go buy Respectacles. And Space Rix asks, hey, can you do something for me? Do what? Change your legendary skills? Yeah, I can change the legendary skills. How do you want me to change them?
You can't catch that here.
Whoa, you look like you could use a drink. Mm-hmm. I'll be right here.
You're gonna tell me the items. Alright, let's see what items you're gonna tell me. If I have those, keep in mind I may not have those items to begin with. Because this is the test realm after all. Pet immune necklace. Pet immune necklace. Let's see if I even have that one. Wait, where is the pet? Oh, did they remove the pet items? I think the pet items have been removed from the Legendarium. So, epic fail. Epic fail in that regard. I don't think there's pet items here. Yeah, no pet items in the Legendarium anymore. I wonder if that's intended or not. Makes you wonder, eh? Alright, what have we here? Let's try and farm some level 60 items, by the way. Let's do some blazing. Extreme close-up infamous goblins or extreme close-up infamous goblins? Oh, it's such a tough choice. Which one do I pick? Let's pick the Underhole of Trouble instead of the Pit of Screams. Do you want to be inside the Pit of Screams or the Underhole of Trouble? Those are very kinky names. The Pit of Screams and the Underhole of Trouble. I guess someone has a kinky mind that makes those names. Do I already see that you're hosting all the time in Twitch? I'm not seeing that you're hosting me. And normally I get a notification on my channel. Maybe it's delayed. Do you mean that you've set up auto-hosting? Is that what you're referring to? Auto-hosting? Because normally I get a notification on my screen, on the stream. I mean, everyone sees that when someone starts hosting me. And I get that. Oh, thanks very much. I'm the #1 person you auto-host. Thank you very much. Do you only stream in German? Because if you stream if you only stream in German, I wouldn't do that. But if you stream in English, I can set up auto-hosting for you too. Since my audience is mostly English speaking, I wouldn't wanna set up auto-hosting for someone who is not speaking English in their streams. Uh, but yeah, I wouldn't mind returning the favor. It just depends whether it's a fitting one. But really appreciate you out hosting me. Every little bit and big bit helps. And by the way, Space Freaks, since you wanna be doing content and stuff like that, I think one of the best ways to grow your Twitch channel is by having a YouTube channel and vice versa. I think it's super important for someone who is streaming to also have a YouTube channel and the other way around. It's like a nice synergy. One channel helps you grow the other, and the other channel helps you grow the first. I think it's kind of like an amazing synergy to do it that way. Make content like builds, guides, news, whatever, for the games you stream. Upload them even if you don't show your face. It doesn't matter. Because yeah, you seem to wanna do that streaming seriously. And I think one of the best tips I can give to people is to make content on YouTube, not just stream, and the other way around, not just make content, also stream. I think there needs to be like a balance between streaming and making content, and it's different for different people. But I think at least 2 videos a week is what most people would say. I think it would be better to let's maybe go 3 to 4 videos a week. So there's gonna be some stream only days, but yeah, I think in the growth phase, when you're starting out on YouTube, what's most important to you is subscribers before you reach 1000. That's the most important for the first growth phase in YouTube. Because you wanna get 1000 to get partner. You created a new shirt for your streamers. What do you mean you created a new shirt? You mean you made new logo design for a t-shirt? Which reminds me, I haven't made any new t-shirt designs or merch designs. And when I start streaming with my camera, I might consider buying one of my own hoodies, or maybe just buying a hoodie and putting one of my merch logos on it. But for me, merch, I don't rely on merch as a source of income. For example, when I sell a t-shirt, I probably win $1 or $2 only from that t-shirt. If I sell a hoodie, I probably win $2, $3, $4 at best from that. I've tried to make the price as low as possible, so it could be attractive for people from all over the world. But so far I don't think I've sold anything in my merch store, but I still keep it. I still keep the merch store, because you never know, But I've been thinking, I have some nice ideas for logo designs. The thing is, I'm not good at drawing. And right now I can't afford to pay someone to draw some logo designs for me. And my channel is not a huge channel where people would actually start buying merch. And again, it's not my main source, it's not my priority. I just keep it there for those who think they like the logos and stuff. You can send me the link on Discord. I can't open the link. I don't see the link you posted on Twitch. It shows up as stars. My bot completely auto-mods it, and it shows up as stars. I love this new shield, by the way. This is the new shield from the new set. Reduces the cooldown of item granted skills. I wish I could have an item granted skill. Something that's worth using. But I don't have those unlocked on this account. This stuff is pretty cool though. The Toy Makers too is pretty fun. Yeah, my pet can put items as well. But item granted skills means skills that you can equip in your skill bar, I think. I think they're referring to the active ones, not to the passive. Something like Cold Snap. Which doesn't always work. That's what I'm finding weird about Cold Snap. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know why. I think it only works when you have the full set, the 3 pieces of the set, but it doesn't work if you don't see. Right now it's buggy. Today when I was recording my video, it was working. Earlier when I wasn't recording the video, it wasn't. So I'm not sure what's happening with this. Yet another quest that can be completed. Okay. They didn't fix the broken quests. They just didn't fix the broken quest. I'm probably gonna be able to find this stolen flask if I go where I haven't been. So this cooldown should be 7.5 seconds. You see, that actually doesn't work. This shield doesn't reduce the cooldown from 10 seconds to 7.5. Okay, still 10-second cooldown. And Space Freaks, thanks for stopping by and enjoy your Last Epoch stream. Let me know what you think about the quest when you have some time. I would appreciate some, because I'm probably not gonna have time to test it myself, the rogue in Last Epoch. But enjoy the rogue. I hope it's nice. Okay, Thompson's motivator. I keep getting Tyler's item. See, this is the challenge bonus I meant as power creep. Challenge bonus plus 0.5 to item stats. And I think this needs to change as a buff that you get. The higher you go, the stronger you get. Not tying it to items and drops. But tying it into... oh, this is interesting. I can put some nice stats here. But yeah, it's gonna be better if you just tie it to different things. Yeah, if you tie it as a affix that you get while you're inside the dungeon. So the higher you go, the stronger the items will be. It's 0.5% per level in the Fazier. 0.5% extra strength per level, which is actually pretty good when you think of it. Starting from level 16, 0.5 at 16, all the way to 251. Let me do the maths. Oh shit, not this folder. Calculator. 251 minus 16, 235. 235 times 0.05. You can get 11.75% of your stats this way. And see, while I'm outside of the Fazir, those stats disappear. And now the question is, if I go back, would those stats retain their effects? Would they remain there? Let's see. I'm gonna do another Fazir to see if it works the way I want it to. Because that's how power creep should be, only while inside the Fazir. But it's gonna be nice if it's not tied to an item.
You say that now.
Let's do the uniques, gold Wookie. And thank you, Space Freaks, for the information on Discord. Oh, Space Freaks, those are actually pretty nice t-shirts and hoodies and t-shirts and sweatshirts and things like that. Whoever is the artist, good job in drawing those. I wish I could draw a wood fiend. A little, it's like this guy here that's flying. A goat-like, a chibi goat creature. Chibi goat creature with a devil's tail. Like a little fiend. Maybe with a bag of wood at the back, like a goblin, wood goblin in Diablo. But not a goblin, more of a goat-like creature. Something like this is what I imagine the wood fiend to be, and I want it to be like a blue kind of thing. With maybe yellow eyes or something. Blue skin, yellow eyes, because blue and yellow is the theme from my channel. The best thing I could get is to get myself a wife that can draw, that can draw merchandise and other types of logos. But yeah, that's just wishful thinking. There we go. But I guess in the end I'm just gonna try and learn to draw, even if it's not a good drawing, just something basic. To try and make myself some of those things. For emotes, for logos, for other things. I attempted a couple of times, and I guess attempt number 2 was better than attempt number 1. I still haven't found time to do attempt number 3 though, in regards to drawing, especially when I'm drawing with a mouse. Maybe if I had a tablet and a pen for drawing, maybe it would have been a bit easier. By the way, as I said, I wanted to test if the power creep remained for the items I looted from the previous level. See, I found this item in the previous level, it wasn't as strong. So I'm finding this in this level, I'm gonna keep it here to see if it's gonna change. Bonus physical damage. Defense, electric. Let's do it like this. So I guess once you exit, this disappears, but they haven't made a script where you go back and it returns. Alright, let's see here. So now we're leaving. Oh no, I forgot to click on the pet cage. Well, no returning. So let's see if this one's power creep would remain in the next stage. First though, a quick enchant. Gwaint is back. Welcome back, Gwaint. Actually, let's enchant this thing first. And let's wife bind it. Now, what can I add to my cannon? I want something that that works for melee stuff. Relic energy generation is nice. I guess that's the one thing that I can add. Oh, it had 2 sockets, but now it has 1 socket only. How come? One of the sockets disappeared. Relic energy generation, good. Gwen's asking if anything new happened while he's playing WoW. Well, the same thing that happened the last 2 days, this new update. The preview of the update. I'm not sure what's new to you and what's not new. You don't want me to spoil you? Okay. I'm not gonna spoil you then. Let's not spoil Gwaint. This is nice though. See, I made a roof. What about the drop rates of the legendaries? I don't know. I don't think they've improved much. I don't think they've improved much from my personal experience, but I haven't spent too much time playing. See, I've only got 17 levels of the new contract. 17 levels of 1000 fame, because this contract is 1000 fame per level. So I guess my experience is not that high in regards to how much time I've spent on this update.
Your pet has arrived.
You wanna see the new contract? Sure, I've got videos, by the way. I've got videos where I'm showing this, but let's show it now quickly. I don't have much time, so I wanna do one more map. So I'm gonna quickly skip through all of it. Because I wanna do one more map. So you've got one of those for every class. A candy house, storage, wardrobe. Then you've got some props. And those props are blueprints. So once you get the thing, you can craft it X amount of times based on the limit. For example, you get props for floors from the first level. And those floors you can craft as much as you want. The underlying fort? Sure. The basement. Let's go into my basement. Said no one ever. So there's a little bit of a glitchy stuff. So if I do place and if I had it up, I had to do G to snap it to the ground. It's not that huge, but there's enough room in there. There's enough room in there. I made 3 videos today for the game, for this update. 3 smaller videos, one for the Forge 3 work, one for all the new items, and one for all the fort related stuff and things like that. So we've got those. And there's, I think you like pets. This is something that's broken, but eventually you would be able to put a pet over here on a display on the pet bed, and then on this pet perch you would be able to put a flying pet to just chill and stay there. Okay, let's do one more final map of the day because it's 10:23, so let's make it a quick one. Terry the Tank says, oh yeah, he already said that about the underlying fort. But yeah, I can't tell you about drop rates, whether they have really improved or not. To me it looks the same, to be honest, but maybe I just haven't spent enough time in this update. The quest drops do seem to not be completely fixed though. I had a map with one of the silky spider webbings missing, and then earlier I had another one that was kind of not dropping everything it needed to. This one, for example, is dropping a lot. Somehow this one is dropping like crazy, the quest items. I really like the new tier 3 bonus on Sonic Pulse. Sonic Pulse now increases the damage of your Steam spending skills. Yeah, at least they use the PTR to find them, unlike some other games that don't use the PTR and just release with all the bugs. So yeah, Extra definitely are doing things the right way in this regard when it comes to that. And they're not releasing the PTR just for bugs. They also want feedback from us. And I'm probably gonna send them feedback very soon once I'm done testing everything I wanna test. I've already sent them feedback before the update based on what they previewed to us in a private session in Discord. I sent them feedback regarding my concerns about the power creep. Anything else seemed fine, although now I need to send them feedback about the Steam system. The Steam system seems a little bit unnecessary, and it seems a little bit restrictive the way it's been done. I think if they didn't make that Steam system and just made critical mass and fracking strike heat spenders, heat builders instead of heat spenders, because right now servo driven, which is now steam powered, and swag shot, which is pressure shot, and critical mass and fracking strike are steam spenders, but you need to build heat, then spend heat, and then get steam by spending the heat and use it, and it's a bit too much. You have to jump through a lot of hoops to be able to use those things. Wooka is back. Welcome back, Wooka. You're catching me at the end of the stream. Final map of the day. But nice seeing you again. Have you started playing on the test server? And if you have, how are you finding the changes? I think the test server is a great place for new players and old players alike to test some new features, some new things, without needing to grind levels and do the story. And if you want to test the new items, one of the NPCs gives you a full set of the new Winter Weave set. Your job is rushing you these days. Okay. It's gotta be done sometimes. Well, whenever you find time, if you need info how to get into the PTR, You can go into the official Discord and type PTR help, or you can stop by my stream and ask me, or just ask me in Discord or whatever else. You can find me. But in general, you just do it through the beta tab on Steam. Through the beta tab, you type secret alpaca level as a code. Which are the new items, like main hand and shield, and you have a mace, a sword, a shield, a focus item. You have 2 staffs, and I made a video. I made a video on YouTube. You might want to watch it. I've got 3 videos today on YouTube. One of them is for the items, so you might want to watch that one with the items, because I don't have much time. As I said, this is my last map, and the sword unfortunately is not in the game right now, at least not in the legendarium. Maybe it exists as a drop, and maybe I can pick it up if I find it, but it's not in the legendarium. For the changes, again, I made 3 videos on YouTube today uploaded about changes for the fort, about changes for the forged as well. So one of the videos is just for the changes to the forged, how certain things changed with this new mechanic with Steam. The other video is about the new items and the new contract, and then the other info video is about the transmog system and about fort stuff, all things fort related, things like this. See, I can transmog my thing. You have to find an item first. Items I have already found before the patch, I cannot transmog to. This is a pretty fun feature. And then you can see the dice system. Some amazing new dice, eh? Who likes the dice? Did I miss anything? I can get the sword from the PTR NPC on that. Yeah, I can get the sword from the PTR NPC, but it's too grindy to go and pump him for items, and I have to make a new character so it doesn't delete my items of this character. But yeah, I guess if you can get it from the NPC, then it is droppable. I can try and spend some time, maybe tomorrow or today later. But yeah, right now I need to go and give my pet some medicine and stop the stream. So there will be probably more Torchlight tomorrow, or maybe Chaos Bane, we'll see. But yeah, I'm probably gonna take the time to get some forged builds out of the way on the PTR in the next week or so before Cyberpunk launches. Thanks again, Struckquap on YouTube and Twitch for watching, supporting my stream. Keep it cool, and my channel. Keep it cool until next time, and goodbye from me. Thanks again.